Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, afternoon, or evening everyone. Today, I want you to hear something not just with your ears, but with your heart. Of be loyal to your future, not your past. The past is meant to teach you, not trap you. It's strange how something that once lived in a single moment can stretch itself across years if we let it. A mistake made in one day can feel like it owns your future if you keep replaying it. Pain experienced once can feel like it's happening every day if you carry it like luggage instead of leaving it behind. The past was never designed to be a prison. It was meant to be a classroom, a place where lessons are learned, not a life sentence where you are stuck reliving what went wrong. Everyone has moments they wish they could erase or redo. Words they wish they hadn't said. Opportunities they wish they hadn't missed. Trust they wish they hadn't given. But what separates those who move forward from those who stay stuck isn't how perfect their past is. It's how they choose to treat it. If you see the past as a curse, it will curse you. If you see the past as a teacher, it will teach you. What matters most is not what happened, but what you took from it and how you decided to grow. There are people walking around today carrying invisible chains. Chains made of regret, guilt, resentment, and shame. They walk slower because they are dragging memories behind them that no longer serve them. They believe they must stay tied to who they once were because they made a mistake or because someone else hurt them. But loyalty to your pain doesn't prove your strength. Loyalty to your pain only proves that you forgot your pain was supposed to be temporary. Every scar you carry isn't a sign of weakness. It's proof that you healed. It's proof that you kept going even when life tried to break you. But scars are not supposed to stay bleeding forever. The cut closes, the heart repairs, the mind understands, and then it's time to move forward. Growth demands that you stop treating your past like a home and start treating it like a museum, a place you can visit, a place you can respect, but not a place you are meant to live in. Sometimes we stay trapped because we keep asking questions that have no answers. Why did this happen to me? Why did I make that choice? Why didn't I see it coming? But healing begins when you realize that some questions were never meant to be answered. They were meant to be survived. The answers don't live back there. They live up ahead, where you haven't gone yet, in the person you're still becoming. Your future is bigger than your past. It's louder. It's more important. But it needs your attention now. You can't live fully here if your heart is still anchored there. It's not betrayal to move on from your old self. It's not cold to grow beyond the people or moments that hurt you. It's wisdom. It's strength. It's necessary. Pain teaches you that you're human. Failure teaches you where you can grow. Betrayal teaches you the value of loyalty. Loss teaches you the power of gratitude. But none of these lessons are meant to keep you chained to yesterday. You were never meant to worship the fire you walked through. You were meant to walk out of it, carrying only the wisdom it gave you. The past is powerful, but it only holds as much power as you give it. If you choose to let it teach you, it will shape you into someone wiser, stronger, more compassionate. But if you let it trap you, it will steal your energy, your hope, and your potential. You owe it to yourself to look forward. You owe it to your future to let go, because the past, no matter how loud it shouts, is over. And you are still here, breathing, growing, learning, which means your story isn't finished yet. Misplaced loyalty to old wounds will sabotage your future. It sounds strange at first. Loyalty is supposed to be a good thing, right? We're taught to stand by the people we love, to stay committed, to honor what matters to us. But what happens when the thing we're staying loyal to isn't good for us anymore? What happens when we stay connected, not to love or dreams, but to pain, betrayal, or regret? That's when loyalty becomes a silent enemy, something that keeps you bound to a version of yourself you should have already outgrown. When you hold on tightly to your old wounds, you end up building your life around them. You shape your choices around your fear of being hurt again. You build walls so high that even the right people can't climb them. You stay stuck rehearsing stories where you are the victim, the one who was wronged, the one who lost. And slowly, without even realizing it, you start living smaller than you were meant to. You start expecting disappointment. You stop trusting. You stop dreaming. You stop reaching for what could be, because you are still bleeding over what was. Wounds demand attention, and they deserve it for a time, but they were never meant to become your identity. Healing was supposed to happen. Growth was supposed to come next. If you pledge your loyalty to the wounds instead of the healing, you will sabotage the very future you were praying for. You will reject opportunities because they look too much like the places you were once hurt. You will doubt people who genuinely care for you because your loyalty is still with the one who broke your trust. You will stay in the comfort of your pain because it feels safer than risking hope again. Your future requires risk. It requires vulnerability. It requires a willingness to believe that life can still surprise you in good ways. You can't step into that future if you're dragging your old wounds like a badge of honor. You have to decide that your loyalty belongs to your healing, to your growth, to your destiny, not to your pain. You are not betraying your past by moving on. You are honoring your future by finally letting it begin. Your future deserves your full attention and belief, not a portion of it, not the leftovers after you're done replaying the past or doubting yourself. It deserves everything you've got. Too often, people let their future become an afterthought. They live their days stuck in old memories, old mistakes, or even just the comfortable rhythm of surviving instead of creating. They put their dreams on a shelf, convincing themselves they'll get to them when the time is right, not realizing that time is already moving and the right moment is built, not found. Your future is not some distant thing waiting to happen to you. It's already in motion. Every choice you make, every thought you nurture, every belief you carry is shaping it. If you only give it half your heart, you'll only live half the life you were meant for. If you hesitate, doubt, or stay distracted, you risk missing opportunities that were custom built for you. Your future is asking for your full attention because it knows how much is possible for you. It knows the doors you haven't walked through yet, the heights you haven't reached, the love you haven't given or received. But it can't bring any of that to life if your mind is too busy entertaining fear, comparison, or regret. Belief is fuel. Without it, you might still move, but you'll be moving like a car running on fumes, stopping and starting, unsure whether you'll make it. When you believe in your future, really believe, your steps get stronger, your faith grows deeper. You stop getting distracted by things that don't align with where you're going. You start saying no to what's good so you can say yes to what's great. Belief is not about seeing everything clearly before you start. It's about trusting that clarity will come when you move. There's a version of you that you haven't met yet. A version who is stronger, wiser, more fulfilled, more alive. That version is waiting on the other side of your belief. But if you keep treating your future like a second option, it will never have the power to change you. It requires your full investment, your time, your energy, your trust, your sacrifice. You cannot water your future with the same fear that poisoned your past. Life will test you. It will ask you if you really mean it. It will hand you moments that feel like setbacks just to see if you will still believe. Don't let the tests fool you. The dream is still alive. The door is still open. Your future isn't a fantasy, it's a direction. And it's waiting for you to show up with your whole heart. Give it your full attention. Give it your full belief. Because nothing great is built by accident and nothing lasting is built without faith. Identity must evolve. Who you were yesterday was necessary for yesterday's battles, but it's not enough for today's dreams. A growth demands change, and change demands that you allow yourself to become something new, something more. The danger is in getting stuck in an outdated version of yourself, a version that may have been strong for a season, but isn't built for the seasons ahead. Too often people cling to old titles, old habits, old mindsets because they feel safe. They wrap their identity around things they've outgrown because it's easier than stepping into the unknown. But comfort zones have a way of becoming cages if you stay too long. Evolution isn't betrayal. It's not disloyalty to who you used to be. It's respect for who you are becoming. Growth isn't about rejecting your past self. It's about honoring the fact that you were never meant to stay the same. Every experience you go through, every win, every failure, every heartbreak, every moment of joy reshapes you. It chisels away the small thinking, the fear, the limitations, and if you let it, it uncovers a stronger, clear version of who you are. You don't have to apologize for evolving. You don't have to dim your light because people prefer the old version of you. Sometimes the people around you will struggle with your growth because your evolution reminds them of their own stagnation. That's not your problem to solve. Your loyalty must be to your becoming, not to their comfort. You were not created to be a statue frozen in one pose for the rest of your life. You were created to be a living, a breathing work of art, constantly in progress, constantly refining. Holding on to an old identity can cost you everything you're meant to become. If you still see yourself as the broken version, the insecure version, the overlooked version, you'll walk through new doors carrying old insecurities. You'll sabotage opportunities that require a stronger belief in yourself. Life will keep presenting you with invitations to rise higher, but if you keep answering with an old name, you'll miss them. Identity must evolve because your calling evolves, your dreams expand, your capacity grows. The challenges you'll face tomorrow need a different strength than the ones you faced yesterday. That strength is born when you allow yourself to shed old skin, to step away from outdated definitions of who you are, and to walk boldly into the unknown, trusting that you are building something truer, deeper, and more powerful. Change can be uncomfortable. Evolution can be lonely. But staying the same when you know we're built for more, that's the real tragedy. Every version of you had a purpose, but you are not finished. You are still unfolding. And if you dare to let your identity evolve, you'll discover parts of yourself that you never even knew existed. Parts that were waiting all along for you to believe you were worthy of becoming more. Purpose is greater than pain. Pain has a way of feeling like everything. When you're in the middle of it, it screams louder than anything else. It demands your attention. It clouds your judgment. It makes you believe that the only reality is the one filled with hurt. But pain, for all its volume, is not bigger than purpose. Pain comes to test you, to stretch you, but it was never meant to define you. Purpose is what anchors you when everything else feels like it's falling apart. It's the quiet voice that keeps speaking even when the noise of life gets too loud. There's a reason you are here, a reason you're still breathing, a reason you've survived what you thought would break you. That reason is greater than anything you've lost, anything you've suffered, anything that tried to take you out. Pain wants you to build a home inside of it, to stay wounded, to stay small. Purpose calls you out of it. Purpose reminds you that every scar you carry is not just a reminder of where you were hurt. It's a reminder that you healed, that you endured, that you overcame. It's easy to lose sight of purpose when the pain is fresh, when the doors close, when the people leave, when the dream feels shattered. Pain whispers that you are finished. But purpose knows better. Purpose knows that endings are often disguised beginnings. Purpose knows that brokenness can birth wisdom, that loss can deepen love, that grief can awaken greatness. The moments that tried to bury you were never bigger than the mission planted inside you. The hardest part is believing it when you can't see it yet. It takes courage to hold on to purpose when pain is trying to convince you that nothing matters anymore. But if you can keep moving, even if it's slow, even if it's messy. You'll find that purpose gives pain a reason. Purpose doesn't erase the wounds, but it gives them meaning. It turns suffering into strength. It transforms waiting into preparation. It turns obstacles into openings. Every champion, every leader, every soul that ever left a mark on this world had to face pain. They had to choose not to bow to it. They had to believe that the reason they were created was bigger than the season they were suffering through. You have the same choice. You can let pain define your story, or you can let purpose drive it. The beauty is that pain eventually fades, but purpose doesn't. Pain is temporary, but purpose is eternal. What you are called to do, who you are called to become, will always be bigger than what tried to stop you. And if you hold on to that truth, if you keep choosing purpose over pain, you'll realize that even your wounds can become weapons, not for destruction, but for building something far greater than anything you've lost. Your story isn't finished. No matter how many mistakes you've made, no matter how many chapters feel like they ended in failure or heartbreak, you are still here, still breathing, still capable of turning the page. Life has a way of convincing us that certain moments define us forever. A lost relationship, a missed opportunity, a bad decision. But none of these moments have the final word. They are paragraphs, not the whole book. They are scenes. He pushed, not the full story. It's easy to look at the past and think you've already lived your best days. It's easy to let fear or regret make you believe that you've peaked, that it's too late, that you've run out of chances. But as long as you are alive, your story is still being written. There are still new characters to meet, new dreams to chase, new victories to claim. The ink hasn't dried yet. Every morning you wake up is another chance to change the narrative, to shift direction, to choose growth over staying stuck. The greatest chapters often come after the biggest battles. The most beautiful moments are often born after the hardest seasons. Just because one part of your story hurt you doesn't mean the rest can't heal you. Just because one door closed doesn't mean another isn't opening. You are allowed to evolve, to dream again, to believe that what's ahead can be greater than what's behind. Don't give up halfway through the story. Don't settle for a version of life that's smaller than what you deserve. The setbacks were real. The pain was real. But so is your ability to rise, to rebuild, to reclaim the pen and write something better. Your story isn't finished. It's just getting started. So don't close the book yet. Don't count yourself out. There are still dreams with your name on them, still victories you haven't seen, still chapters waiting to be lived. Hold the pen tightly, believe boldly, and keep writing, because the best parts of your story are still ahead.